What do you think was the different about PM and Melee that allows you to be number one in one and outside top 30 in another? PM was not developed at all. Like, it's a huge misconception that a lot of PM players are trying to, like, they're trying to push this agenda that PM players are as good or even better than Melee top players in their respective game. And no offense, but PM has not been out for nearly as long, not nearly as many people play it, in patches. It's just much easier to climb to the top in PM. I was number one in the world without not even having the game. I played it like at tournaments, and that was pretty much it. And I was still number one. That never can happen in Melee. Like, you need to, like, I'm not sure about PM's like skill level right now, but like back then in 2014, no offense to Zero, obviously an amazing player in like Smash period, but getting to top level in PM was extremely easy compared to Melee. Extremely easy. Like, most of PM was basically top players from Melee or Brawl that kinda played it for extra money, in most cases. Actually, I want to talk about PM a little bit, because for me personally, I had a few different reasons. My biggest reason for actually playing PM, after I came back to Melee again, was basically that I feel like when I was playing PM and I played against random ass characters I've never played against, it helped me adapt faster. Like, a lot of times in tournaments, I played against, let's say, an Ivysaur for the first time, or I played against a Lucas for the first time. So I literally had to like break down their entire moveset, combo options, recovery, how to edgeguard them in a 2 out of 3, maybe a 3 out of 5. So I literally had to adapt to a new character that I had never seen being played before. And I feel like if my adaptation, if I can get it faster and faster and faster in PM for things I'm not even used to, then I should be able to adapt at a crazy fast pace in Melee. So for me, PM was basically a way to practice my adaptation skill, which is another reason why I didn't even play PM outside of tournaments, because my main purpose was to play PM to adapt faster. But if I practice the game a shit ton out of tournaments with like no pressure on the line or anything like that, then my main purpose for PM as a practice tool kinda loses its value in a sense. So I feel like PM did help me a lot when it comes to adapt. But in terms of high-level gameplay in 2014, I don't think it was that high. Like, you shouldn't be able to win any tournaments if you never practice the game. You shouldn't be able to place top 8 at like super majors if you don't practice the game. But yeah, that was like 3 years ago-ish. So the level might be much better now, but I feel like at times, like, no offense, but I feel like a lot of PM players, they are kind of in the shadow, because Melee and Smash 4 obviously are so much bigger. So since they're in the shadow, they kind of want to like, it's like the little brother, you know, that want to impress the older brother. So they're going to be like, oh, I'm this good, like, look at me. And it's like, I see what you're trying to do, but like, let it have its time, you know? Melee's been out for 16 years. You can't really expect a game that is much smaller, been around for way shorter, and had plenty of patches to be even close to the same amount of like skill level necessary to climb to the top. That's just ridiculous. And I feel like if you're trying to go that far, you're not going to be able to convince anyone with a brain. You might be able to convince an idiot or two, but that's about it. Like, more than that, no. Like, let's be real. Yes, it's also very important to recognize that Melee skill carries over in PM, but still, it's still a lot of things that are different. Matchups that are completely different. Recovering in PM is basically for free, and like the version that was out in 2014, so it was still like drastic differences. So the overall gameplay in PM has probably gone up, but I think it was Prof that told me. No, yeah, it was Prof that told me. But it was this Peach player, Peach and Sheep player, Malaki or whatever he was called, and a lot of PM players apparently was convinced that Malaki was as good or even better than my Peach, and in terms of punish game as well. And it's like, when you're coming with such ridiculous statements, like let's be honest, if he was better than me with Peach, and he understood the game, like Smash better, combo game better, he could just go to melee and win tournaments easily. But let's be real, he can't do that. He can't do that. And he's probably good at PM, like, don't get me wrong, but if he was that good, then it would be very easy to see that in melee as well. Because PM Peach is relatively similar, at least last time I played the game. So, I don't know. I feel like you need to go step by step, but a lot of the PM people, they start off at step 1 and they want to jump up to step 10 right away. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. And the thing is, like, this is not like trying to put Malki on blast. He probably never even said anything similar to this himself, but this is like how a lot of PM people have been like brainwashed probably, because they hear like other people talk about certain things enough, so they start believing in it themselves. Like you can make a lot of people believe pretty much anything if you say it enough, and if you have enough people saying it in the right way.